Here with Jake Shields, Gilbert Melendez's coach. He's your first student. How are you feeling after that big win for Gil?
Man, I feel great. That was a fight. You know, I felt like Gil was going to win that fight. I just thought it was his time. The training camp went great, but I also knew it was going to be an all-out war because Josh is a guy who I've trained with and I have a ton of respect for. I think I think they're both some of the most underrated 55-pounders out there, and that fight just showed, all their skills. The takedowns, the ground, mostly stand-up, but it was just it was a phenomenal battle, and they both showed lots of heart. I'm really proud of Gil.
That's something you've said, or they've said in the past, that they're the best two lightweights outside of the UFC. They could hang with anyone aside from BJ. After this performance, do you feel that to be true?
Oh, definitely. I've watched Gil trains with lots of UFC lightweights and hold his own and beat them. So I just feel like never seen him train with BJ, but I just know they're right there at that level. And same with Josh. Those guys are both phenomenal fighters.
Do you feel Josh should get an immediate rematch because he fought so valiantly?
That's a tricky question, but I would prefer not to see that next. You could definitely argue the case that he earned it. It was a close fight. Josh was the champ, but I don't think either one of them won it right away. I think, they're both friends, and that fight was such a hard fight. And we probably will see it again, but I don't think that's the next fight for either one of them. I don't think either guy is going to be demanding that next. If Josh starts demanding it, though, then, then we got to, then we'll talk about it.
What did you see in Gilbert's training camp that led you to believe that he was going to go out there and perform the way he did?
Just more focused, Gil's always focused, but there's, we always have stuff going on in life. And there's been a few times, when Gil had 2 losses back to back, and not to knock anything about his training, but just that time period, I don't think he was the most focused. Like everyone knows how life is, ups and downs. I think he just has a lot of things going on in his life in that time, and he was still training, but not like he is now. I think those losses woke him up. He got refocused, which everyone that's watched his last 3 fights can see. He's just focused now. He's listening better. He's working all aspects. He started, doing strength and conditioning, which is a big part of the sport, and just and picking up new parts of the game, taking it more serious. He realized this is his career. It's not just a plaything.
Last time he lost, you were hurt, your back was hurt, so you couldn't train with him. Did you make a concerted effort to get more into his camp, get more involved as his coach?
Yeah, definitely. It's hard because, like I said, I got so much going on in my life too. So there's been times part of the losses could have been a little bit my fault. My back was hurt. I couldn't train with him, so it's kind of like I was, depressed, not depressed, but not wanting. I didn't really want to be. I was coming in a little bit, but I couldn't train, so I didn't want to be around the gym. So I wasn't really helping him that much for his last loss. So, me being there, I don't want to take credit for it, but I'm sure me being there, motivating him, being a good sparring partner, giving him advice obviously helps. But Gil, it's Gil that deserves all the credit, of course, but it's always good to have having, strong people supporting you. After
a long vacation, what do you want to see next from Gil?
I haven't really thought about that. Eddie Alvarez sounds interesting. Shiya and Aoki. That's just, like I said, we were just looking at Josh, but those 2 names just popped in my head right now.
Where would you put Gilbert Melendez among the top lightweights in the world?
Oh, man, lightweights is such a tough division, and a lot of those guys are so competitive, but I put Gil in the top 5 for sure. He's definitely top 5. When you get guys like, BJ, Diego, he's already beaten, what's his name? The guy Kenny Florian's great. It's just, a lot of these guys are awesome. Josh is obviously right there. Shiya and Aoki, it's the toughest, one of the toughest, or if not the toughest division in the world.